Well, these are my latest projects, and I've been using 9cm eggs, which are these, to make those, and a lot of them are direct, well, not exactly direct copies, but I followed some of what the girls do, and some of the equipment I didn't have what they had, so I did my own bits, and some of them are done with decoupage, which is rice paper with pictures on them, which is this kind of thing, which you can buy from Amazon or eBay. And there's different ones, but you've got to watch it, because in my ignorance I bought these big ones and they're far too big for the flowers. The flowers are far too big for the eggs that I'm making, so you've got to be careful. And the rice paper is 25 to 30 GSM, grams per square metre, and it's got a distinctly plasticky feel to it, and it's quite tough and it's quite hard to pull, and it works admirably. And that one there is that's one of them, and that is another, that is another, and that is another, and that is another. I think I got these from eBay, and I cut them out and did things with them. And yeah, here's the, I'm just shifting around a bit. I haven't got a lot of room, that's why I've got to keep going backwards and forwards. This is rice paper, and this is 25 to 30, same thing. And this is R590, and it's from the, is it limited collection, it looks like? ITD collection or limited collection, I'm not quite sure. They will put it in that super duper thing, but it looks like ITD, whatever that means. And it's if you go to decoupage paper, you can get them from there, but I get them from eBay. I find eBay's cheaper than Amazon, and they've got rather a large selection. But I wanted bluebirds, and I haven't been successful in getting bluebirds, so I got these red-breasted things, which, whatever they are, they're not robins. And this particular one here, I tried with things on the stuff. I've still got things to do, in fact. I've just put lace around that one. That's just lace with, which you can get from Amazon. You get 3 different types of lace, and I was wondering what to do with it, and now I know. And I just stuck it on with decoupage for the minute, and I'll stick it down later on, just trying everything. And this one I'll go on to that in a minute. This one has got cosmic shimmer on it, which is a type of paste, which I had, and I thought it was stuff for filling in holes, but it isn't. It's got a nice glimmer on it, and when you put it on, don't be distracted, because it's this is it here. Yeah, cosmic shimmer, sparkle texture. It goes a long way. Texture paste, and I was going to use it for making raised areas and things like that, but it works quite well on that. And I wanted to put this on, which is, I haven't got it out, but it's cosmic shimmer as well, and it's gilding flakes, which are little pieces of metallic silver and gold and all different colours. And I found that you've got to have something tacky to stick it to, and I hadn't got anything tacky, so I'm going to leave that till later, and I'll show you what I've done with that when it comes. I'll be more explicit on this. This one is a picture from a decoupage from what my daughter got. I think there's about 10 sheets in it of it, and yeah, this is it here. I don't know where she got it from. I'm trying to give you all the information I can give you. And this is VV Gade, Creativity the Scandinavian way, and it's decoupage paper from Oslo. You get 10 sheets, and it's 17 grams. It's much thinner, but the pictures aren't as you get 10 sheets, as I said. They're quite big sheets. They're fold up to about 3 times that size. They open up to about 3 times this size, so it's about 9 inches by 9 in a sheet. And in fact, I'll open one up for you and show you. Yeah, I've got one here. So you can see you get 10 sheets of this like that, and it looks like that, and it's got different pictures on. And yeah, I suppose it would be good for making boxes really, but I just tried it on this. The pictures aren't as good as the ones from the rice paper. And they've got a yellowy, that one had a yellowy tint to it, which I'm going to put yellow below, above here. And I also did something with, I can't do the moulding. There's a girl called Aggie on there. She's a Polish girl. I'm sorry if I haven't got her right, but I think she's Polish, and she speaks good English, and most of her things are done in Polish, and her friends do her things in Polish. But once you've seen these and you've understood what she's talking about, you can watch the others in Polish and you can understand what they're saying as well, within reason. You know what they're doing and the way they work. They do the same things. But I'm trying not to do direct copies, and so I can't do the scroll work that they do. I'm not thingied yet, but I have got some things from little cutout bits. They're quite cheap, these. You buy them as raised mounts, rubber mounts, and they're for putting inks on, for putting on cards and things like this, like that, to make different colours on, and then you can do what you like with it after that to make it look good. But I ran this, put the colour on. I could have used green or a lighter colour than this, and I put the colour on it and rolled it up the side of this. Just let me turn that around for you. You can see I've rolled it up, and I found out that I'd only got one side in my ignorance, so it's only got one side, so I had to turn it around and roll it up the other side with putting the pad on and inking it up and rolling it to make sure it fitted. And I then went over with relief paste. I've got 2 at the moment. I want blacks and other colours as well. I'd like other colours, but I went with the gold, and the gold is pretty good, but the white is more of a pearl look when you put it on. I like the white better. But anyway, these are Marabou relief paint, and I got these from eBay. I think I got them from eBay. They're about £3 or £4 a piece, but they'll last you forever. They last for ages. I mean, I've done all them eggs and I haven't even touched the tube yet. So that's what I've been using, and I've got ideas about what I want to put on it and little bits and pieces and things. But anyway, you can see what I've done there, which wasn't they didn't show you that in the thing, so that's something new I've done on my own. And I've tried to get away from what the girls actually show you, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But I am interested in this. I might put this on eBay, I don't know. And yeah, that was a sort of a direct copy, that one. That is a copy, but I'm not showing you how to do the eggs, so it doesn't matter. And the girls, it's called egg art, decoupage egg art, if you want to find it. And I've put certain colours on the sides here. You can see here I've got a few bits of shimmer there, and I've put dots on here. How you do that, the girls, well, they don't show you how to put the dots on, but the girls show you the other bits and pieces. And there's one I've got here which is for a friend. A friend of a friend, Chris Warden. He wanted this egg, and you're in luck, and I put the iris bits. It was a little bit rude coming up if you don't want to see this, but you're supposed to tap the bottom of that, and it brings you luck. So yeah, that's for Paddy, and I put a little ribbon on. And there's other things you can get, like things for hanging furniture on. and these are called filigrees, cups and pins I think they're called, and they're on eBay. If you look on eBay, egg art, hangers for egg art, these all pop up, and there's loads of little, I've only got a few, and I've got these are pins to put in, and those are bigger pins. I've got that one of the pins in the top there. It's actually green, that very pale green, but it is green. And they came quite quickly, and they were quite cheap. I think they're about 1.90, or some of them I think they were 90 pence and stuff like that. And I didn't buy an awful lot. I got a few of these which are just pins. I mean, I'm telling you this because this is what I've done. Yeah, they're little pins. Be very careful, you prick yourself when you're taking them out. And I forget what you can see them quite easily on eBay once you go onto the egg art and you go onto filigree. It's called filigree, this. And these are I put on hat pins, and I found these. So you can put them in to make them look nice. And I got one on the bottom of there to hold the ribbon in. So everything's quite simple to do. I mean, it's none of it's extraordinarily difficult. But that's as far as I've got, and I've got some little pails to put on if you want to put pails on. And I haven't finished yet. Still got lots and lots to do. But yeah, and that's a card I'm making for the wife. Now, I don't do videos on cards because the girls are so good at this. That's one of my own cards, and the eggs are done rather well by the girls. They do it much better than I do. But you can see that the dots on there are much better than the gold. The gold comes out sort of like that. But I got gold. The gold I got was gold, transparent gold. So I think if I get the ordinary gold, it will be like that, and it dries within about 30 minutes, and it's solid, and you can wash it and everything, so it'll stand up to a bit. And I've yet got to get some prick myself there. See, you've got to be careful. Small children or anything like that, you don't want any children around these at all. They're all sharp objects. We haven't got any children, so I don't really think about it, but yeah. There's so much to say that I can't remember where to start first, really. But all the ingredients and everything it come from eBay and or Amazon, whichever I find cheaper. And the eggs I bought, I think I bought quite a few of these. I think they run out to about 20 pence each or something like that, 25 pence each. Polystyrene or styrofoam, and you've got to rub them down because they're a hell of a state when you first get them. And I can't really show you how I make them because the girls make them much better than I do in any case. So I've got 3 birds done there. Yeah. It's got 3 different types of birds on. You've got to be very careful when you cut them out because some of these things don't actually fit. How you cut them and everything else. I haven't used napkin papers yet. I've got to try that. That's decoupage paper, 17 grams per square metre. And I've got Japanese, you pay a lot less for decoupage paper than you do for that Japanese types paper. So, and that is a bit stronger, and it's a bit hard to tear. And you can't put your water on the brush around it and then pull it off, which is a technique you'll see if you see the girls. Aggie's the one to watch. She's very, very good. There's lots of good ones, but the other girls are Polish. They speak in Polish, so Aggie's the one that speaks in English. And she does egg art, decoupage egg art. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing just recently. And I don't know if it interests anybody, but this egg was done with ordinary 80 GSM paper. I just printed out on my bubble jet, this one, and you can just see the imperfections, but if you're careful with it you can rub it down with I use my bone folder to rub the the lumps down, and yeah, you can see what I've been using here. This is just a sheet of ordinary foolscap paper, 11.5 by 8.5, and I took the pictures off, and I did a couple just in case I made a mistake. Yeah, the other thing is you've got to watch is that because it is a bubble jet, make sure you stay off the picture when you put the you need decoupage glue for this. I do use decoupage glue, and I find it's one of the best things to use, and it reduces the risk of the inks moving. And there's two types. I've got two. I've got it's called Mod Podge, and I've been using the matte. I haven't used the gloss yet. So this is the matte Mod Podge, and I've got 16 fluid ounces because I know I'm going to do a lot. I just get going and going and going, and I do dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and I send them off to my friend in Hartlepool and drive him crazy. But you can get smaller bottles, and it'll last you quite a long time. And you put it on, and then stick the things on, and then you put the Mod Podge just on the sides. There's a little bit when you cut these off, you leave little edges here, little white edges around it, so as you can touch it up. Try to stay away from the middle of it, because you know that's these you're okay with because they're colour fast. But these on your bubble jet obviously are not colour fast unless you use a colour printer. But you can see I've on one occasion I've had a little run, but you can eradicate it and print it out. You can colour it out. There's a run. There's a slight run there. You can just see where it's moved now. I haven't been able to get to it, and I didn't want to go up too far in case I rubbed it out. But you wait till it dries, and then you put your white paint on it, or your you put your acrylic paints on it, white acrylic, to cover up, and then you put a bit of decoupage, Mod Podge on it, decoupage Mod Podge, and that'll do it. And you rub down in between each painting, so as soon as you paint it, just rub it down. Try and stay away from the bubbles if you've put bubbles on already. Try not to put the bubbles on till you've done what you want. And I've got to varnish the centres. The centres have got to be varnished as well. I've got to varnish the fronts, as I call them, the front centre bits. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say at the moment. I've run into 17 minutes there. Christ, the sun runs away. But that's what I've been doing, and I use the boxes to put the things in because I've got to buy some stands yet. But I'm not too sure. They're not all that good, but they're very effective. And I suppose if you made a tree, you could hang them off a tree. They don't take long to do actually. You can make them quite quickly. And I might make a video on how I do them with my techniques. Not the way the girls do them. It'd be slightly different to what the girls do, but if you watch them and you watch mine, you'll see. And if you can't afford, or you don't want to wait for decoupage, proper decoupage, colour fast things, I'll show you how to do. They are much sharper, in fact. They're a sharper picture when you do it on your printer, but they're more delicate, more fragile, and better looking. I've got other things I want to try anyway. I've got ideas of my own. That was one of my ideas which wasn't on the net. I haven't seen that one on the net, but I thought of it straight away because I can't do them scrolls. And what I need to do is a bigger print, a bigger die, so that I don't, because it's not like using a pencil or a paintbrush. When you use these, you squeeze it directly from the tube, the end of the tube, so it comes out from the end of the tube. So you've got to be pretty good. You pull that thing off, and there's a little hole in the nozzle, and then you draw around it. It's quite difficult. I haven't got the hang of it yet, but it'll come. I'm getting more. That's the final one I did, and I'm getting better at it. But it depends on the substance within the tube, and that one's got a better globular substance. Because she said put it on, press and then drag, which leaves like an eye drop, a drop of water falling type thing, not in a ball but in like a pear shape. And I didn't want that, and so I did them individual drops from the top, dun, 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 and it works. So, but it takes a little bit of messing about. So I suggest you do something like that one where you put the little dots on the top. And try different colours. They say use black, but I don't like black. So I've used greens and things like that. And that Cosmic Mist is pretty good. Cosmic Glimmer or whatever they call it. Cosmic Shimmer, yeah, from, I don't know who makes it. Mine was called Frosty Dawn Sparkle. But none of these things are cheap once you start buying lots of them. I mean, but it's the cheapest hobby I've done so far. It's cheaper than bookbinding, or it's cheaper than making cards. Certainly, you don't need any special equipment except for the egg. And if you buy these eggs, you don't have to buy what they call them eggs. And they look real. My daughter said, "Where do you get the eggs from?" And she picked it up and she still said, "Where did you buy these from? Are they goose eggs?" I said, "No, they're polystyrene." And you can see the little lumps in them. You can get rid of them lumps, but I can show you how to do that in a video. Anyway, I'll stop there. That's it.